What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine, and from Montana right now, nearly 11,000% increase in fentanyl seizures reported by Montana Attorney General. And Montana is basically smack dab in the middle of the country. We're not talking about San Diego, California, or Los Angeles, or Yuma, Arizona. So it does seem like every state is now a border state. Ask New York, right? Now, of course, they are a border state, but on the other side. And they're dealing with the migrants and then sending them up to Canada. And then the migrants don't like Canada, so they go back down to get their luxury hotel. But they don't want the food that New York has to give them. And they don't want to stay where New York wants to put them. And they're just demanding more and more things. But that's a different story, and I digress. They are dealing with an 11,000% increase in fentanyl. And remember that fentanyl now kind of seems like it might be on the back burner because we have to deal with this new thing called tranq that's popping up in cities all over the place, some sort of horse tranquilizer. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can go ahead and fact check me on this, but I think that is being mostly produced domestically, so that's an entire different can of worms that they're going to have to deal with. But let's see what they have to say about this astronomical increase in fentanyl in Montana.
And speaking of drugs, today Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen announced that the state has seen 11,000% increase in fentanyl seizures since 2019.
Okay, so since 2019, so in 4 years, they've seen an 11,000% increase. What else rises or even decreases 11,000% in 3 years? I don't know. I'm not an expert on every single thing, every single weirdo commodity, but that is an astronomical amount. It's almost like somebody is letting it happen. It's almost like somebody is benefiting from this, right? I mean, how else does it get this bad? This is not incompetence, in my humble opinion. This is a managed decline like we see with every single other thing. Somebody is benefiting on the way down with a story like this.
And in 2022, the amount of fentanyl seizures was triple the amount from what the state saw in just the year prior. The Attorney General.
So they tripled the amount in 1 year. That's not a coincidence. I mean, yeah, sure, the cartel workers are probably, really hitting the ground running, but there's no way that happens if you guys don't, turn a blind eye to it. Joe Biden, I don't know who the governor or mayors are in this state, but something is not right for an 11,000% increase in 3 years and triple the amount in just 1 year.
General saying today, quote, the amount of illicit fentanyl coming across the southern border has skyrocketed. This poison is killing Montanans. Our narcotics agents and troopers are getting more fentanyl off the roads than ever before, but we need additional tools and resources to keep it out of our community.
Oh, well, that makes sense. They're obviously going to ask for more resources. That's with every single thing. Every single problem that any side of the political aisle pitches is always going to boil down to needing more resources, aka more money, more funding, and of course, most of the money that they request, if they do get it, which under this administration is going to vary greatly depending on whether you're red or blue, but when you get that money, a couple of pennies are going to trickle down to the project that you're working on, and the rest is going to get, into the pockets of bureaucrats, and then nothing will change.
This is not just happening in Montana, it's happening all over the country. Police in Pennsylvania warning parents nationwide after they found gummies being sold in some tobacco hut stores contained fentanyl and heroin. The opioid-laced gummies have caused several people to overdose and actually end up in the hospital. According to investigators, the victims thought they were just ingesting CBD or THC edibles.
Wait, so why in the world is somebody putting fentanyl in what is supposed to be? Is that just pure evil? Are they really benefiting from this? If you start killing off your customers, is that really a plan for longevity? Or do they not? This is crazy. This is through the roof. You think you're buying CBD gummies at a tobacco shop and it's laced with fentanyl? Is that really? I guess fentanyl's cheaper than getting CBD. I don't know how that could be because weed is across the entire country. These stores are on every single corner in Arizona. Oh, buy weed here. They have billboards, free weed. So, people are swimming in the stuff. You can obviously ask California, same thing in New York. Oh, it's all legal now. Of course, it's only legal for a couple people because Uncle Sam, Kickback Kathy Hochul, and Black de Blasio, Eric Adams always have to have their cut. So if you're unauthorized, you can't sell it and you're shut down. But I don't know how fentanyl is cheaper to lace your drugs with than just getting a dirt weed plant and calling it CBD.
So as you can see, this fentanyl crisis impacted the entire country. Here in Montana, the Cascade County Substance Abuse Prevention Alliance has received a small grant from MSU Extension Office to try to do some type of community outreach and education around fentanyl. The first of these events will be at the Great Falls Public Library Tuesday, March 14th from 7 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, this is all performative. Obviously, nothing's going to happen. Now, maybe Montana's going to do a little bit better than, say, New York would, letting people shoot dope under the bridge or on the subway platform and just telling them that you should test it for fentanyl. They're going to do a little bit better than San Francisco, telling them, well, just, use with a friend and carry Narcan. Now, of course, they want you to use with a friend because now they got two dope heads out there on the street that they can claim they're going to save with just a little bit more federal funding. We also saw another recent story out of San Francisco where the San Francisco Chronicle poses the question, do San Francisco supervisors support arresting drug dealers? And it's like, well, if you have to ask that question, then probably not. You're already on the wrong path. So I don't know how we stop this. We also saw another story out of Tempe, Arizona, where they, over the past couple of years, they seized $13 million worth of drugs. And again, all of these stories don't even include this new thing, Trank, that's popping up all over the place that I'm sure in no time is going to take over fentanyl. And the cycle continues because nothing is ever going to change. Because if something changed, then these people would be out of a job. They wouldn't have anything to do, and they wouldn't have any reason to ask for more federal funding that, of course, they can line their pockets and the pockets of their bureaucrat buddies with. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.